Do you want to do a beautiful fall heat foiling card? I have just the answer for you. This here is my Happy Harvest fall card. You can see that background is completely heat foiled and it's got that lovely sparkle and shine. And I actually did it with 3 different colors of heat foiling. And I will link you to a video up here and then also in the description to show you how to do that technique. But this card, it's a single line design background. So that means you can emboss it, you can heat foil it, you can sketch it, and if you're doing single line engraving, you can also engrave that background onto something. So there's multiple options with how to use this card. Now let me real quick show you, this was version number 1. I've since updated the file a little bit, so let me show you what that looks like and then we'll get this card put together. Okay, so down here, and I apologize, I thought I hit record and thankfully didn't get too far before I realized that I actually had not hit record. So I was just talking to myself really loud. But on this one, you can see I did the heat foiling on a diagonal. Again, I will link to that video for you. But I've got the heat foiling on there, and then to update this file, what I did for this one, I did a white strip for the front, and then I just did a solid one color. And then for the inside, I added an acorn to the file to put on the inside. Now this is only, I opted to just do the one layer, but in the file, you will see the 2 different layers. Please excuse that this does not look good. Honestly, I'm not quite sure what happened. I had some miscuts and this is what I ended up with, but excuse that. The file, you will not end up with that same issue, but you will get the 2 different layers. So there's a brown inside layer that's in there. And then, you know what? I need to change that to an orange inside layer if you want that. And then this yellow layer is now this white layer with the acorn on there. So that will help you if you want to do a double layer. I'm only going to do the single layer on the inside of the card, but this will just fit in there nicely. We can go ahead. I'm going to use some tape runner here. And I'm just going to adhere this onto the inside of my card. All right, so you just want to line this up. You should have a nice even border all the way around. Let's see if my alignment skills will work better today than in that example. I think that looks much, much better. Okay. And I really like the stark contrast between the white and the brown and then the bit of copper here. It's just so much nicer. Okay, and then the other thing that I did different from the original card that you have here, other than the white, so what I did for the leaf here, I did this one out of gold foil paper, and then I used this multi-purpose spray glue. Pretty sure I got this from the Dollar Tree. And then I just flipped this over, sprayed a nice coat on it, and then was able to stick this down on here. And then I just placed something heavy over it for a little while to help keep things, to get it all stuck down there really well and to try to flatten it a bit. I did there on the other side. So it's a little, this one needs a little more flattening, but, and then you'll also notice if you want your leaf going the other direction, all you have to do is mirror your leaf, and then I would mirror the outline as well, or just flip this over. And then that way you can have it going either direction. That gives you a little bit more personalization to it. And then I just took this strip. What I did to find where I wanted to put it, I just took my leaf on here and I decided where I want my leaf. And I personally just did not want my leaf falling over the edge at the bottom. Some people like cards that have pieces that are outside of the bounds of the card. That is a personal preference that I do not enjoy. So I just lined that up there to make sure that it was going to be on the card, and that's kind of in the lower third is where I decided to put my orange strip here. And then I've got my leaf. Now with this, I could go ahead and add some more dimension, especially because this has already got some dimension to it. I can go ahead and pop this up and then pop this up as well. Or you can go ahead and just tape this down flat. And I am, once again, going to leave this flat. Again, this is personal preference. I don't like too many things popping up, especially because this is already a pretty busy card design with that background. I want to try to keep things simple in other aspects, so that way it that background can really stand out as well. And then I'm just going to put some foam squares on the back of the sentiment strip. And then this will just go, you can either line it up all the way to the edge or come in. I think this time I'm going to line it up all the way to that edge. Try to get that flush on the edge there. And then lined up and down. And then when you're happy with that, you can just go ahead and press those on there. And there is my card. So now we have this beautiful Happy Harvest with our leaf and our beautiful background on the front. And then on the inside, you've got your acorn. And then I did just a single, but you could do the 2 layers on the inside. And then you've got plenty of room here to write a lovely message to the recipient. So there is the Happy Harvest card with all the heat foiling. And again, I will leave that link down below where you can grab this card and make some for yourself.